Hello, and thank you so much for being here today. My name is Emma, and this is Speak English Zone. This channel is a place where you can learn English easily, calmly, naturally, and without stress. Here, we don't focus on difficult grammar. We focus on real conversations and real life stories. Because the best way to learn English is to listen and to speak every day. So today, I just want to talk with you about my day. Not a lesson, not grammar, just a simple, real conversation to help you feel comfortable with English. So imagine we are sitting together in a quiet cafe, maybe drinking coffee and just talking about life. This morning started a little differently than usual. I woke up to the sound of my alarm, and for a moment, I didn't move. I just stayed in bed, looking at the ceiling, thinking, do I really have to get up right now? You know, mornings can be very difficult sometimes, especially when you didn't sleep very well the night before. Last night, I stayed up a little too late, watching videos on my phone. And of course, I told myself, just one more video. But one video became two, and two became five. And suddenly, it was very late. So when my alarm rang this morning, I was not very happy. I slowly sat up and checked the time on my phone, and I said, oh no, I'm going to be late. I jumped out of bed and ran to the bathroom. When I looked in the mirror, I almost didn't recognize myself. My hair was everywhere, and my eyes were still half closed. I smiled at myself and said, "Good morning, Emma. You look amazing." Sometimes you have to be kind to yourself, even in the morning. Then I went to the kitchen to make coffee, because honestly, my day does not start without coffee. I turned on the coffee machine and waited, and waited, and waited a little more. Nothing happened. I looked at the machine and whispered, "Please, not today." Finally, it started working, and I felt so relieved. While drinking my coffee, I checked my phone. So many messages, emails, notifications. Sometimes it feels like the whole world is inside this little screen. I answered a few messages and then started getting ready to leave. And then something very funny happened. I put on my jacket, took my bag, and opened the door. I took 2 steps outside and suddenly stopped. I touched my pocket and thought, wait, where are my keys? I looked in my bag, nothing. I checked my other pocket, still nothing. And then I realized my keys were still inside the apartment, inside, on the table. So there I was, standing outside my own door without my keys. I just looked at the door and started laughing at myself. "Emma, this is a very good start to the day," I said. Luckily, my neighbor was at home. I rang the doorbell and waited. He opened the door wearing pajamas and said, "Rough morning?" And I said, "You have no idea." He helped me open the door, and I finally got my keys. After that little adventure, I finally went to work. On the way, I listened to music and tried to calm down. And you know, after a while, everything felt normal again. Now I'm here, talking with you. And I'm smiling because today was not perfect, but it was real. So tell me, how was your day today? Did anything funny happen to you this morning? Thank you so much for spending these minutes with me. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, You don't need perfect English. You just need to keep speaking every day. See you next time. Bye-bye.